2020 has certainly been a wild year for a lot of different reasons. The pandemic has certainly changed the way we live, and it's caused a lot of challenges.
Yeah, but I'm hearing there are some good things that working moms can get from this.
Yeah, joining us now with 3 tips on how to really take advantage of this time is Erin Hatzikostas, and she's a Be Authentic. And thank you for being with us. You actually see this as an opportunity for women.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me on. Certainly there's a lot in the news about how working moms have been kind of disproportionately disadvantaged, taking on more of the distance learning and the childcare. And while that's certainly true, I also see COVID as it's really shaken up kind of the corporate rules. And I think if you can recognize that and take advantage of it, this is actually a time where you can also propel your career forward.
Right, and what I thought was so interesting is you come from the corporate world, by the way. You were an Aetna executive, and you have this organization where you're teaching other women how they can get ahead. But one of the things you've noticed is women can really take advantage of low barriers to networking, because you used to have to go to things at night or maybe take a trip, go on some golf outing for a whole weekend. That's gone.
Yeah, I mean, so the heart of the problem is, most mothers and women, the biggest reason we have a gender inequality issue is that they're opting down out of fear of having to compromise, right? Your family, your health, who you are. So my first tip is around networking. When I was an executive, I used to get a little bit of anxiety knowing that my male counterparts could easily jump on a plane and go to a conference or go have a steak dinner halfway across the country to do a deal. And I didn't always have that luxury because I had a lot at home. And now virtual networking, video conferencing like we're doing here is totally commonplace. And you can literally jump on and then leave the call and go for a run or go to soccer practice. So my first tip is I really encourage women to proactively take advantage of this virtual networking and reconnect with old colleagues or old bosses, or there's even new companies like Lunch Club that have AI that help you set up meetings. And I've heard from people they actually work. So that's my first tip, is absolutely do even more networking than you did in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my wife,
and then,
go ahead, I'm sorry. I was mentioning my wife.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
And one of the things that she's doing all the time, she's now has these social networking opportunities that she would never have had before. And you get to see people from all parts of the country and the world that you may never have had a conversation with ever.
100%. And watch out, when us women get together, like we could do really powerful things. And so it's a great way to do it.
Yeah.
My second tip is include your children in your work. And, I know that's hard if you have little infants and babies, but there's so much power in both directions of including and sort of blending those lines. In fact, my daughter's sitting right next to me and she said, this better only take 5 minutes. I got to get back to science. But they first of all learn so much. I wanted her to see this experience, but they give you incredible feedback. So for example, I'm doing a TED Talk this Saturday, and I actually asked my kids to help me direct the video I had to do to submit for the application. And let me tell you, they tell you exactly like it is. So you get this incredible feedback, which really propels your work forward. So
very honest feedback. I'm sure right down to what outfit you need to wear.
And I'm just impressed.
Oh, yes. They were very involved in my TED Talk outfit pickup, both my boy and my girl.
Yes.
I'm impressed you're getting 5 minutes, because at my house, if my wife, first of all, the big thing is to the young daughters, my computer's blowing up. Can you help me with that? And Mom, how long is this going to take? I got 30 seconds. So you get 5, you're living large.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we have it in both directions. Don't worry. And then the third tip is really, it's everything I stand for. It's exploit your authenticity, right? There has been no bigger tailwind for authenticity in the workplace than COVID. And this is part of the reason I left my executive job. I loved it, but I was kind of sick of the boring, politically correct, snoozy business environment. And now is the time not only to just happen into authenticity. That's why I love your show. You guys are so authentic, but also capitalize on it, because it creates incredible connection and confidence, and people really will follow you. So find places to actually purposely use your authenticity in your workplace. And I promise you'll start to stand out from kind of all the stuffy BS that's out
Yeah,
there.
you say, go ahead, think of some personal stories. A lot of times if I speak to women, I have this talk I give called owning your own story. But, if you, whatever you're used to be afraid to share, you're saying actually use that because it helps you connect. Chances are if you have a funny story where you can make fun of yourself, everyone else relates to you. And that authenticity is actually power.
It totally is. I couldn't have said it better.
And the other thing you pointed out, I think, and you can tell me, this is a good time to take advantage of this because I think after COVID, this is going to be the way a lot of businesses are going to continue to do things. The better you get at it now, the better you're going to be on the other end of this.
That's right. And I want to make sure we capture it, right? And we take advantage and that we carry it into sort of this world post-COVID, because I think it will be one of the best, outcomes of this. So yeah, absolutely.
Well, we know that we wish you luck on your TEDx talk. I'm sure that you'll be posting about that, and we want to let people know that they can learn more about you and visit more of your content, I should say, at the letter B, AuthenticInc.com. Thank you so much for sharing some silver linings.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.